welcome to this episode of The Daily. My name is Brendan Malone. Well, last week an incident happened here in New Zealand which then made its way into the media a couple of days later, which I think typifies a bit of a problem that we've got going on in our culture at the moment. A young man who self-identifies as a woman purchased himself an airline ticket under the name Miss instead of Mr. He then turned up to the airport and tried to board his flight, but the airline staff wouldn't let him on the plane because he didn't have any identification on him to actually verify that he was who he said he was. So the airline staff are presented with a situation where they've got a ticket under the name of Miss, and they've got a young man who turns up in front of them. Now, how are they really realistically expected to know that he is someone who truly does identify as a woman? For all they know, he is someone who might have stolen someone else's ticket. He is someone who might not be allowed to fly for whatever reason, but someone else has purchased the ticket in order for him to get on the plane. And he seems to have completely ignored the fact that, for obvious safety reasons, the people in charge of that flight need to know exactly who it is that's on that plane. They need to know the names of their passengers, and so they need to be able to verify that people really truly are who they claim to be. This has been happening in New Zealand for years now. When you get on a plane, you've got to present some form of ID before you are allowed on that plane. It's not rocket science. Now, at this point, I think if you were a common sense person, you would say, okay, I've got to take responsibility for this situation. It sucks. I don't like being here. I can't get on the flight that I wanted to get on, but I need to take responsibility for my actions and accept that I didn't turn up with any ID, which means that they have a particular response that they have to give to that situation, and they can't let me on the plane. But instead of doing that, what he did was he went to the media, or someone close to him went to the media and claimed that he was denied access to the flight because they didn't like transgender people on their planes, or this was an act of transphobia or something like that, which clearly it wasn't. This was about security protocols, standard protocols that simply weren't followed. The real problem here is, once again, we see a person who is not taking responsibility for their own actions. And instead of taking responsibility for their own actions and owning it, as difficult as that might be, they have turned around and blamed someone else, and then they have also claimed that they are the victim of something here. We see lots and lots and lots of this going on. People who, and more we see the media being used as the vehicle by people to actually promote and push this sort of victimhood status instead of actually taking responsibility for their own actions. The problem is that this is not a good behaviour. We work really hard with our kids in the home to try and instill in them a sense of taking responsibility for their own actions, but at the same time we understand, because they are young children, it's going to take a while for them to get there. We try and instill this idea that if you do or say something, and this is your decision to do or say that thing, that you must be prepared for the possible outcomes that could result from this, be they good or be they bad. And you must own your own decisions. You can't blame other people for them. Like I said, when you're a child, that's what children do. But there is a real problem in a society where you see adults who refuse to take responsibility for their actions, and we're seeing a lot of this in our culture now, and then an even larger group, I guess, who turn around and when that situation happens to them, not only do they not want to take responsibility, but they try and claim some sort of victim status and continually play the victim card. It's not good for society, and it's not good for those individuals, because ultimately you can only really begin to make progress in your own personal life when you actually start owning the decisions that you are making, and you actually start owning the mistakes and the outcomes that are being caused by the choices that you are making. You can't make progress, and you can't grow, and you can't develop and mature until you actually start doing that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow on The Daily.